hallway echoed with laughter that wasn't friendly. It was sharp, mocking, and cruel, the kind of laughter that made silence feel safer than words. Amara walked with her books clutched tightly to her chest, keeping her head down as she tried to make it to her next class. She had learned to blend into the background, to avoid drawing attention, but bullies always seemed to find her like moths drawn to flame. And this time, they didn't just settle for words. A hand shot out, rough and aggressive, grabbing her collar and yanking her backward. Her books tumbled from her arms, scattering across the floor like broken pieces of her pride. The leader of the bullies, Jason, smirked as he towered over her. "What's the matter, huh? Too good to look at us when you walk by?" His friends surrounded them, feeding off his arrogance. Amara froze, her heart pounding, her breath shaky. This wasn't the first time. She had been shoved, mocked, and whispered about, but this time was different. The collar in his fist pressed against her throat, making it hard to breathe. A hush fell over the hallway as other students turned to watch. Some shook their heads, others looked away, pretending they hadn't seen anything. Nobody wanted to step in. But in that moment, something stirred inside Amara. She thought about her mother's words from the night before. "You don't have to be loud to be strong, baby. You just have to know who you are." Her mother, who had worked 2 jobs to keep food on the table. Her grandmother, who had endured a lifetime of injustice and still carried herself with dignity. And her younger brother, who looked up to her as his role model. The fear began to shift into something else, something stronger. Amara's eyes met Jason. For the first time, she didn't look away. Her voice, steady though soft, broke through the tension. "You think this makes you strong? Grabbing a girl by the collar while everyone else watches? That's not strength, that's weakness." The hallway grew even quieter, the weight of her words cutting deeper than she imagined. Jason's smirk faltered, but his pride pushed him to tighten his grip. "Shut up," he hissed, but Amara didn't. "You can humiliate me, you can throw my books, you can grab my collar, but you'll never break me, and one day you'll realize that what you're doing doesn't make you respected, it makes you pitied." Her words rang out, clear and unshaken. The students watching felt it too. The girl who had always kept to herself had just confronted the biggest bully in school with nothing but her truth. Jason, suddenly aware of the dozens of eyes on him, released her collar with a shove. But the damage wasn't to Amara, it was to him. He had expected fear, tears, or silence. Instead, she stood taller, picking up her books one by one with deliberate calm. Nobody laughed now. Nobody cheered for Jason. The silence told him everything. The power he thought he had was slipping away. That day became a turning point. Amara walked into her class with her head held high, her spirit unshaken. Students began whispering, not insults this time, but admiration. "Did you hear what she said? She stood up to Jason." For once, the story wasn't about the bully's power, but about her courage. But the challenges weren't over. Jason didn't give up easily. He tried to corner her again days later, but this time other students stepped in. One boy who had always been silent stood between them and said, "Enough, leave her alone." Another girl, inspired by Amara's courage, added, "We're not afraid of you anymore." The ripple effect of Amara's bravery grew, showing everyone that fear only controls you if you let it. Amara faced many struggles after that, whispers about being too bold, teachers who didn't always understand, and moments of self-doubt. But every time she remembered how she had looked Jason in the eye and spoken her truth, she felt stronger. Slowly, she realized she had done more than stand up for herself. She had given others permission to stand up too. By the end of the school year, the girl who once kept her head down had become a voice others turned to for strength. She joined the debate team, where her calm but powerful words made her a leader. She started mentoring younger students, especially those who felt invisible or alone. And when Jason finally backed off for good, it wasn't because he lost his strength. It was because he realized Amara had found hers. Her story didn't just shock everyone that day in the hallway, it inspired them. It showed that true strength isn't in fists, or in fear, or in making others feel small. True strength is standing tall even when your collar is being pulled, even when your voice trembles, even when you're alone. Amara's courage reminded everyone that you can't always choose what others do to you, but you can always choose how you respond. And in the end, that choice is what changes everything.